Hi guys, and welcome to the studio today. We are continuing with our pods, and this is a really simple one today. We're going to be looking at creating thread holes in our pods. I had a couple of questions from people who wanted to know how I create the thread holes and if I do it prior to curing or after curing. Right, to tell you right now, I do it prior to curing. The reason being, I don't want to, I find it easier to create the thread hole prior to curing, because if I cure this, it's got no thread hole, I've got to try and drill a hole through here, and on a rounded piece, that can be a little bit problematic. The other reason, let me just pull this little bit in and show you. If I create thread holes prior to curing, then I have this little bit of clay here that I can put in my stash and reuse again, and I'm not having that go into the rubbish bin. So that's why I just like to create thread holes prior to curing in most of my pieces. If I don't know how I'm going to construct something, I will perhaps leave it and do it after, so then I can work out where the best place might be to put my thread hole. All right, so let's just have a look. I'm going to do one demonstration today, that's it. But let's just have a look. I normally use a skewer to do this. You really don't need any high-tech equipment to create thread holes. You can use a really fine beading needle if you want to. What about a needle tool? Or as I said, I use a skewer because I want perhaps to maybe string this with a large cord. I might want to put multiple strands of cotton through here, or elastic, whatever. So if I work with a larger thread hole, I have an option of lots of different construction ways. So let's have a look. This is my bead. I'm just going to pull that one out for now. And I normally work my thread hole crossways. Just let me point out here, I have just created, number 5 in the series, is creating a thread hole down the length of your pod. So if you haven't seen that video, go watch that now. And the other thing to mention too is the very first video in the series is how to create the pod, of course. So let's have a look. I am going to simply hold my pod bead. I'm going to put my skewer in where I think my thread hole is going to be, and my finger is going to go on the other side. And I'm going to twist and push until I get to about there. I'll just go through a little bit more and show you. A lot of people do a thread hole like that and then they leave it. So this side kind of has an indent. This side has got excess clay poking out of it. It's not a good look, really. So if you want to create a nice neat thread hole, go back through the other way. It tends to just realign the clay, if that is even a thing, and then simply go over with a smoothing tool and just neaten him up. So I like to create a nice neat thread hole, as I said, prior to going into the oven. It's as simple as that. I find the beads hang better if the thread hole is up higher. If I put it here, then they can flip over, and I have had that happen in the past. All right, so that is very simple. So I just wanted to show you that one. That's just another example. This one was simply created with this very high-tech tool I made, which is needles stuck into a wad of clay. This is really cool if you're creating pod beads, like a range of beads that you want to create in ascending order, you know, kind of this way. And I find that they sit better if they have 2 strands in them. So I simply made this one, pop it onto the side, and you put your thread hole through that way. It's a nice, easy process. So Creating thread holes are really simple, and as I said, I prefer to do it prior to them going into the oven. Also have a think about, this one's not cured yet, but have a think about what else you can do in regards to thread holes. There's something a little bit different, you know, you don't have to have just a basic round circle to put something through. Think about, you know, what else can you do? So that's a whole other range of options as well. I'm just going to pull this one in, excuse me, to show you this little nifty tool. This is a cocktail straw and this is a skewer, and I can't honestly remember who showed us or who showed me how to do this. It was in a workshop somewhere, I think at the Clay Carnival, and I think it was Sylvie. But anyway, thank you, Sylvie, for sharing this one with us. All right, so simply position on the clay, twist, and out pops your clay. It's a super simple way of creating a thread hole. So there you have it. Very, very easy thread hole options for you. And that's how I create thread holes in my pieces. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to follow on in all the other pod series videos. There's lots of interesting information. So I want to say thank you for joining me today, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks guys. Bye for now.